God bless each and every one of you, and welcome to Texas Honda Channel. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turn the bell icon on to get notified of every upload. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the oil drain return for the Maxpeedingrods Turbo and most GT30, GT35 turbos. One of the main problems I had was finding the proper information for the oil return. And as you can see here, there are two different oil returns. I already know which one's which, but I figured this would be good to give you guys the information so that you don't make the same mistake I did and order the wrong part. That's kind of common. This part I actually already had from previous turbo builds, and I test fit it and it didn't fit. Now this one comes in your common eBay, Amazon turbo kit with the oil return lines and oil feed lines. This one is not the one you need. You actually need the smaller one, which I will link in the description. What I also like about this smaller one is that it doesn't have to have the thread adapter put on. So it's actually a little bit shorter, because with the thread adapter on here, this thing sits about this tall, and without it, it sits a lot shorter, which is very good for this particular setup because we've got shift linkages under here, and we're going to need the oil return to go that way, and it'll run through there and go into the timing cover with Jack Spania Racing's oil return system that he will be sending. So I'll have more info on that when it comes out. But basically, this will have this right here. It'll be bolted in the turbo like that, and it'll shoot back that way. Now I do have all of this 10AN fitting line. This is actually left over from when I was doing my catch can, so this will be perfect for that. And I already had the adapter, so that's nice. But I will link the line and adapters in the description, along with this piece, which is what you need for the GT35 82R Turbo from Maxpeedingrods. So with that out of the way, we've got the -3AN oil feed line, which I will also link in the description where I got this one. Now, as for this T-piece here, I got it from Ace Hardware. It was really cheap. And you're going to look for the 1/8 NPT fittings, and that's this T fitting here and the 8 on the back side. And then this piece right here, I'll also link in the description, is 8 on this side and -3AN on this side. That's if you're using the -3AN. Most kits come with a -4AN oil feed line, but I'm using the -3 for this. And then this will screw in where the oil pressure sensor is, and I'm going to have it faced up, so the oil feed line will be faced up in the engine like that. And then this spot that's open will have the oil pressure sensor, which I have to get a new one because I broke this one. But it'll go in just like that. So pretty simple, right over by the oil filter down in that location down there. So that'll go there, and then we will get the oil feed line ran. And I had to get the oil feed line adapter for the top of this turbo because it takes a special kind of fitting. I'll also link that in the description for anybody wondering about all this stuff. I'll have it all linked in the description. As for the fuel line we have here, this is from Jack Spania Racing along with this adapter. The only thing he didn't have was the 1/4" adapter right here, which this adapter allows you to adapt to the factory fuel rail style. Just this little piece, it unscrews on the back, and then it goes over, screws down, and it's got a nice tight seal. And it's still movable, so you can move it around and it won't leak. So that's no problem. I've got the line, I got the proper length as far as I know. I've already test fit it back there, and it seems to be pretty good. The only problem is the one on the firewall is a 1/4", and I ordered one of these in 1/4" from Amazon, and it got here and it was 3/8. So I will link a proper fitting in the description. Definitely wouldn't get it from the people that I got mine from because they sent me the wrong stuff. So I ended up returning it, and they're sending another one supposedly, so we will see. So yeah, that's basically it for all of that. So as for the downpipe setup, I did have to cut off the V-band flange. It's right here. And the reason I had to do that is because, as you can see, this 4-bolt to V-band, it takes up quite a bit of space, and I'm already limited on space back here. So let me show you. As you can see back here, with that on there, it was out to here, so it left me like that much space for a downpipe. So I actually ordered the 4-bolt, which I'll link in the description, for the 4-bolt flange that fits this turbo. And then the exhaust shop is going to basically just custom make me a bend here and then hook that in to the rest of this downpipe. I don't know how much that's going to cost yet. I don't have the funds to go do that right now, or I would have already done it. But yeah, so that'll get fixed, and then this will be able to bolt on, no problem. So we do have some little challenges here and there. It's just little stuff, but little stuff here and a little stuff there adds up. But yeah, it's definitely making some progress. I'm going to go ahead and get this turbo off, bolt this oil return on right here, and show you the difference. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I only have these snugged up there. They're not very tight since we're just test mocking everything up. We will also get to the coolant lines and how we're going to run all of that as soon as we get everything else figured out. Definitely doesn't fit, and it is a little too large. Now, I've seen these even come in some more expensive turbo kits, and they still don't work for this turbo. And I will be using the gasket that Maxpeedingrods provided because they designed the turbo, so I'm just going to use their gasket. Probably voids warranties or whatever. I know this has a 1-year warranty on all of their turbos, so I'm just going to use that and the bolts provided. So just going to go ahead and put it on there. Okay, it's nice and tight and everything's good to go on that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here so that we can see what it looks like with it attached on the turbo manifold. All right, so got the turbo back on, and as you can see right there, we have the oil return, and it's going to go straight that way. And I have enough line, 10AN line from doing the catch can, and I have a elbow, so it'll go on the front of the cover where it returns, because I'm not doing a drill in the oil pan type setup. We're doing a drillless and weldless setup. It's going to be really cool. You guys will definitely have to stay tuned for that. And then the line will go perfectly far over. So I have plenty of line for that. So that is officially ready to go. As for the oil feed line, I am going to try to tuck it under the 1 Corinthians 924 coil cover that I made and try to get the line to run straight over through here. Now I do still have to get the adapter. It's on its way here, which it will be linked in the description. I need that adapter to be able to get it fully hooked up, but I'll at least get the line ran. But I'll go ahead and get this T-piece installed, putting some gasket sealer on this, making it nice and tight. Just make sure not to get any gasket sealer on the inside of this T-piece where the oil flows through. I will get the sensor that's currently on here and put it on here. I will be getting a new sensor though. But get that installed, get that line ran, and we'll be one step closer. All right, I went ahead and took the turbo manifold off just to give you guys more area to see exactly what I'm doing. But I have to use my 1/2-inch drive breaker bar because I cannot find my 3/8 drive to 1/2-inch drive adapter for the ratchet. So just taking the broken oil pressure sensor off. Now that oil pressure sensor will be going back on temporarily until I get the new one, but it won't be driving most likely before I even get the new one. I just don't want it to leak if I do start it up when I get the oil return line done. But either way, take that out. I'm going to clean some of those threads out because it does have some factory gasket maker there because that's what they put to keep it from leaking, and get that cleared out. Put the T-piece on, get it nice and tightened down. Then we will put the 1/8 to -3AN fitting on there, get it nice and tightened down, make sure there's gasket sealer just barely in the threads so that way it makes sure it doesn't leak. And then we'll put that broken oil pressure sensor back on. Again, that is temporary, so bear with me on that. And then we will get the line nice and tightened down and get the line ran straight up so that way we can get it tucked behind the coil cover. I really hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. All right, it's all back together. I didn't do video of me putting it under the coil cover, basically just unscrewed it and put it under there. Looped it around and into the turbo. We got the turbo bolted down fully now with all the bolts and washers and all that. And the turbo manifold is all bolted in officially. So it is officially bolted down and ready to go. Just go ahead and put that back over there in the meantime. But yeah, it's definitely coming together. I have to get the fuel line adapter for the firewall. Then the fuel line will just run through there. I'm not 100% sure how I'm running the fuel line yet. I want to make sure I have exhaust clearance. So for the meantime, I'm probably going to run it just up and over, and I'll probably put some heat shielding around it. Just for the meantime, I do not want to drive it like that. I would only be taking it to the exhaust shop with it like that. But we've got the oil feed line ran, which a link in the description for the -3AN and -4AN adapter that goes here on the turbo. That information will be in the description for this particular turbo, the GT35 82R. And then the oil return, all I have to do is measure all this out and basically get all that put together. We'll be good to go there. And then waiting on Jack Spanier Racing for the timing cover oil return, which You guys are going to love that video, I'm sure, because it's a really cool, unique little device. I know other people have had them before, but Jackspania is selling them for a decent price, so it's going to be real awesome. But get the fuel line done and oil return line stuff, and then we can head to the exhaust shop with this, get the exhaust all fit and welded and all of that good stuff, and then we can focus on intercooler and piping and stuff like that. And yes, I will be driving it without the intercooler and piping stuff. I'll probably just be running on this normal air intake, cold air intake system, and I'll be pulling these off, of course, so that way it can breathe. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff coming for sure, so make sure you're subscribed so you can stay up to date with all the content. Hit that bell icon on to get notified of every upload, and definitely stay tuned to More Motorsports Garage for the 100K subscriber giveaway. I just included some extra stuff. It's for pulling dents and stuff, hail dents, so that'll be going in with the rest of the stuff that's already coming. So if you guys want to know more about that, go over to More Motorsports Garage. Link is in the description. But that's basically it for this video. I will see you guys in the next video if God is willing. But as I like to say, God bless, stay safe, stay awesome.